Hi, I'm Sean Gannon, and this is Minute Math, and today we're multiplying special case polynomials.
Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math.
We're given this polynomial that we're multiplying. X plus 5 times x minus 5. Okay. First step, multiply x times x, we get x squared. Then multiply x times minus 5, minus 5x. 5 times x is a positive 5x, and 5 times negative 5 is a minus 25. Well, from there, we see negative 5x plus 5x. They cancel each other out. So we're left with an x squared minus 25. Hence, this is why this is a special case polynomial. We have x plus 5 and x minus 5. When that happens, the insides will cancel out, leaving us with our final answer of x squared minus 25. I hope this video was informative for you, and if it was, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video. This helps us make more free math lessons for you and for everyone else. So as always, thanks for watching.
Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. MinuteMathTutor.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Gannon, and this is Minute Math, and today we're learning about multiplying special case polynomials.
Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math.
We're given this problem here, n minus 1 times n plus 1, and we want to find the product. Well, we take n and we multiply it by n here. N times n squared. N now times 1 is just a positive 1n. Don't need to write the 1. Now we have the negative 1. Negative 1 times n is a minus n, or minus 1n, but again, don't need to write the 1. Negative 1 times a positive 1 is a minus 1 squared, which is just going to be a minus 1, right? Well, here's the special case. The n's cancel. N minus n is 0. Don't need to write that. So we get a final answer of n squared minus 1. Don't need to write it as squared, but there we have it. N squared minus 1. We're given this problem, p minus 1, in parentheses, all squared, and we need to find the product. Well, first we need to know our rules of having this squared. That is the same thing as writing, well, p minus 1 times p minus 1. Now it's a lot easier to look at. P times p squared. P times a minus 1 is a minus 1p. Minus 1 times p, again, is a minus p. And minus 1 times a negative 1 is a positive 1. Right? Negative times a negative is a positive 1. Well, negative p minus p right here, that's a minus 2p, so we have p squared minus 2p plus 1, right? Negative p minus another p is a minus 2p. And there we have our final answer, p squared minus 2p plus 1. We're given this problem here, x minus 3 times x plus 3, and we need to find this product. Well, we start with the first x, and we multiply that by this x, and we get x squared. We then take this x and multiply it by that 3, and x times 3 is a positive 3x. Minus 3 times an x is a minus 3x, and minus 3 times a positive 3 is a minus, well, 3 times 3 is 9. So we have x squared plus 3x minus 3x minus 9. And here's the trick. 3x and the minus 3x cancel each other out, leaving us with x squared minus 9 as our final answer. We're given this problem here, x minus 4 all squared, and we need to find the product. Well, x minus 4 all squared, we know can be written as x minus 4, not x minus 1, times x minus 4. Now all parts need to be multiplied. X times x squared. X times a minus 4 is a minus 4x. Minus 4 times x is again a minus 4x. And minus 4 times a minus 4, well, That's a positive, right? Two negatives make a positive. Positive 16. So now we're left with x squared minus 4x plus 16. The only like terms that I see are in the middle, minus 4x and minus 4x. Together they're combined to be minus 8x. We add them together, bring down the rest, and we get our final answer, x squared minus 8x plus 16. We're given this problem here, n plus 3, all squared, and we need to find the product. This squared part lets us know that this n plus 3, all squared, is, well, n plus 3 times n plus 3. Now it's a little easier to solve. Multiply n times n, we get n squared. N times a plus 3 is a plus 3n. 3 times n is again 3n. And 3 times 3, well, we know that's 9. From here, we want to simplify. Combine our like terms, 3n and 3n. So the n squared comes down. 3n plus 3n is 6n. And be careful, a lot of students will just write 9 there. So we have n squared plus 6n plus 9, and that is our final answer. We're given this problem here, x minus 5 times x plus 5, and we need to find the product. Well, we first start off with taking x and multiply it by that x, and we get x squared. This x times 5 is, well, 5x. Negative 5 times x is a minus 5x. And minus 5 times a positive 5, well, 5 squared is 25, so we go minus 25 here. And this is where the special case comes in. 5x minus 5x, they cancel. They're 0, right? So we're left with just the x squared minus 25, and that is our final answer. We're given this problem here, n minus 5 all squared, and we need to find the product. Well, n minus 5, that's squared. That tells us it's the same thing as n minus 5 times n minus 5, hence the product. Now let's multiply it. N times n squared. N times a minus 5 is a minus 5n. Negative 5 times n is a minus 5n again. And minus 5 times a minus 5, well, two negatives make a positive. When you multiply, 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, almost there. Combine our like terms. N squared is by itself, nothing to combine. But we have minus 5n and minus 5n here. That together, 5 plus 5 is 10, stays negative, negative 10n here. Bring down the 25, and we get our final answer of n squared minus 10n plus 25. We're given this problem right here. 2k squared plus 1 in parentheses, all squared. And we need to find the product. We start with this, well, that squared value really means this is 2k squared plus 1 times 2k squared plus 1. So where do we go from here? Well, we take the 2k squared and multiply it by 2k squared. That 2 times 2 is a 4, and k squared times k squared is k to the 4th power. Now the 2k squared multiplied by 1 is plus a 2k squared. 1 times a 2k squared, again, is plus 2k squared. And 1 times 1 is just 1 squared, or 1. So now we got to combine our like terms. Well, this is k to the 4th power, no other like term. Bring it down, 4k to the 4th. 2k squared plus 2k squared, we add them together, and we get 2 plus 2 is 4, so 4k squared. Bring down the plus 1, and there we have our final answer, 4k to the 4th power plus 4k squared plus 1. We're given this problem, 8a squared plus 4 times 8a squared minus 4, and we need to find the product. Well, we take 8a squared and multiply it by 8a squared. 8 times 8 is 64, so it's 64, well, and then a squared times a squared is a to the 4th power. Continuing on, 8 times minus 4, or 8a squared times a minus 4 is a minus 32a squared. Now 4 times a positive 8a squared is a positive 32a squared. And then 4 times a minus 4 is a minus 16. Special case comes in here. Minus 32a squared and positive 32a squared cancel out, leaving us with a 64a to the 4th power minus 16, and that is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 2 plus 5n squared, all of that squared, and we need to find the product. That squared, the second squared, lets us know that we can write this as 2 plus 5n squared times 2 plus 5n squared. From there, we need to multiply this out. 2 times 2, you should know that is 4. 2 times the 5n squared, well, 2 times 5 is 10, so we have 10n squared here. 5n squared times 2, again, is 10n squared. And 5n squared times 5n squared, well, 5 times 5 is 25. N squared times n squared, n to the fourth power. From here, we need to combine our like terms. 4 is by itself, but 10n squared plus 10n squared is 20n squared. Bring down the 25 n to the fourth. There's no like terms there. And we have our final answer. 4 plus 20n squared plus 25n to the fourth power. We're given this problem here. 3x minus 7 times 3x plus 7. And we need to find the product. First step. 3x times 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x. X squared. 3x times a 7. Well, 3x times 7 is a 21x. Negative 7 times 3x is a minus 21x. And negative 7 times a positive 7, well, that's a negative 49. So now we need to simplify. Luckily here, 21x and minus 21x will cancel. So we're left with 9x squared minus 49, and that is our final answer. We're given this problem here. 3 plus 7v squared times 3 minus 7v squared, and we need to find the product. 3 times 3 comes first. That's a 9. 3 times a minus 7v, well, it's a minus. 3 times 7 is 21. 21v squared. 7v squared times 3, well, again, positive, now 21v squared. 7v squared times a minus 7v squared, well, 7 times 7 is 49. V squared times v squared is a v to the fourth power. So now we need to simplify. Luckily here, special case, minus 21v squared plus 21v squared, they cancel, leaving us with 9 minus 49v to the fourth power, and that is our final answer. We're given this problem here. 7v squared minus 6 times 7v squared plus 6, and we need to find the product. First step, 7v squared times 7v squared. 7 times 7, 49. V squared times v squared, v to the fourth power. Now we continue. 7v squared times 6, well, that's a plus 42 v squared. Negative 6 times 7v squared, well, it's a minus now, 42 v squared. Negative 6 times a positive 6 is a negative 36. So now we want to simplify. We'll look at the middle first. 42v squared and minus 42v squared cancel each other out. So we're left with now 49v to the fourth power minus the 36, and that is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 2 plus v all squared, and we need to find the product. Well, this squared thing lets us know that this is 2 plus v times itself, 2 plus v. Well, now 2 times 2, that's 4. 2 times v is a 2v. V times 2, again, is 2v. And v times v, v squared. Not too bad. From there, we need to simplify. No other like term with 4. That just comes down. 2v plus 2v is a 4v. V squared comes down. No other like term there. And there we have our final answer. 4 plus 4v plus v squared. I'm given this problem right here. 6v plus 3 times 6v minus 3. And we need to find this product. First step, 6v times 6v. 6 times 6, 36. V times v, v squared. 6v times a minus 3, well, 6 times 3 is 18. So we have minus 18 and keep the v. 3 times 6 here, well, 3 times 6, or 3 times 6v is a positive 18v. And 3 times a minus 3, well, that's a minus 9. 3 times 3 is 9. So now we have this here. But notice the negative 18v and the positive 18v, they will cancel out. So we're left with just 36v squared minus 9, and that is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 8a squared minus 2 times 8a squared plus 2, and we need to find the product. Well, first step, we take 8a squared and multiply it by 8a squared. 8 times 8 is 64. A squared times a squared, well, it's a to the 4th power. Continuing on, 8a squared times 2, well, 8a squared times 2. 8 times 2 is 16, so we have positive 16, and we keep the a squared. Negative 2 times 8a squared, well, negative 2 times 8 is a minus 16, and then we have the a squared. Negative 2 times a positive 2, well, it's a minus 4 right here. Continuing on, notice the middle, 16a squared and minus 16a squared, they cancel. So with that gone, we just bring down everything else, nothing else to combine. 64, if I can write it here, 64 a to the 4th power minus 4, and that is our final answer. We're given this problem here, 4a plus 7, in parentheses, all squared, and we need to find this product. Well, what we know about something being squared, it's the same thing as multiplying itself twice. So we have 4a plus 7 times 4a plus 7. Now from here, I need to simplify. 4a times 4a, well, that's 16. 4 times 4 is 16. 16a squared. Well, what's 4a times 7? 4 times 7 is 28. Don't forget the a. 7 times 4, same thing, plus 28a. And 7 times 7, well, that's a 49. Alright, so now we have to combine our like terms. 16a squared is, well, nothing else is squared, so we bring that down. 28a plus 28a becomes 56a. So we add a 56a. 49 just comes down. Oops. Make sure you bring down not just the 9, but the 4 too, plus 49. And there we have it. Our final answer, 16a squared plus 56a plus 49. We're given this problem right here, 2n minus 7, in parentheses, all squared. And we need to find the product. But what we know about something being squared is it's being multiplied by itself. So we can write this as 2n minus 7 times 2n minus 7. Alright, 2n times 2n is 4n squared. Not too bad. 2n times a minus 7 is a minus 14n. Minus 7 times 2n is a minus 14n. And minus 7 times a minus 7, well, two negatives make a positive. 7 times 7 is 49. So now let's simplify, combine our like terms. Nothing with n squared, that just comes down, 4n squared. Minus 14n minus 14n becomes a minus 28n. Bring down the 49, and there we have our answer. 4n squared minus 28n plus 49. We're given this problem right here, negative m plus 5n times negative m minus 5n. And we want to find this product. First thing, negative n times negative m is, well, two negatives make it a positive, so we have a positive m squared. Okay, be careful with your negatives. Negative m times a minus 5n, well, that becomes a positive. Negative times the negative is a positive, so positive 5mn. They're not like terms, so we can't square them. Now we have the inside one. 5n times a negative m, that's a minus 5mn. And 5n times a minus 5n, what's a minus? 5 times 5 is 25. And n times n squared. So now we need to combine our like terms. Notice the inside part. 5mn minus 5mn are the same. Well, subtraction, they cancel each other out, leaving us with the leftovers, which is m squared minus 25n squared. And that is our final answer. We're given this problem right here, 7u plus 4v times 7u minus 4v, and we want to find the product. First step here, we take 7u and multiply it by 7u. 7 times 7 is 49, and u times u is u squared. 7u times a minus 4v is a little trickier. Positive and negative multiplied to negative. And 7 times 4, well, that's a 28. The variables aren't the same, so we just have u, v. Inside now, 4v times 7u. Well, 4 times 7 is a positive, 28. And v times u is vu, or u, v. You'll see that in a minute, or why I wrote it that way in a minute. 4v times a minus 4v, well, 4 times a negative 4 is a minus 16. V times v, v squared. So now let's simplify. Well, notice the inside now. Minus 28 uv plus 28 uv. They're like terms. We can cancel them out, right? They cancel each other out. So they're, we can just bring down everything else. So if 49u squared minus 16v squared, and that is our final answer. We're given this problem right here, minus y minus 3x times a minus y plus 3x, and we want to find the product. First step, minus y times a minus y. Two negatives make a positive, y times y, y squared. Next one, negative y times 3x. Well, it's a negative, and then we have, let's say, 3x times y, negative 3xy. Inside, minus 3x times a minus y. Two negatives make a positive. 3x times y is 3xy. Lastly, minus 3x times a positive 3x. Negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x, x squared. So now we have y squared minus 3xy plus 3xy minus 9 squared. Notice the inside. These two are the same, except one's negative, one's positive. When we add them together, they cancel out, leaving us with just the y squared minus 9x squared, and that is our final answer. We're given this problem right here, minus 9x squared minus 10y. All of that is squared, and we want to find the product. By squaring something, it's the same thing as multiplying it by itself. So we take negative 9x squared here minus 10y, multiply it by itself, negative 9x squared minus 10y. All right. Negative 9x squared times a negative 9x squared becomes a positive. 9 times 9 is an 81. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th power. Continuing on, negative 9x squared times a minus 10y. Negative times a negative is a positive. 9 times 10 is 90. And we have, well, x squared y, right? Inside, negative 10y times a negative 9x squared. Negative times a negative, again, is a positive. 10 times 9 is 90. And x squared times y, or y times x squared, we can write it like this, x squared y. Lastly, we have negative 10y times negative 10y. Two negatives, again, make a positive with multiplication. 10 times 10 is 100. Keep it 100, everyone. And y times y is y squared. All right. So now we need to simplify, combine our like terms. Well, there's nothing that's x to the 4th power, right? So I'm just going to leave that down and bring it here. 81x to the 4th power. But the inside, we have 90x squared y plus 90x squared y. They are like terms. We add the 90s. 90 plus 90 is 180. And we have x squared y here. We bring down the 100, y squared, and we have our final answer here now of 81x to the 4th power plus 180x squared y plus 100y squared. We're given this problem right here, 4u plus 9v. All of that is squared, and we want to find the product. When we know about taking something and squaring it, that's the same thing as taking something and multiplying it by itself. So we write 4u plus 9v here and multiply it by itself. 4u plus 9v. All right, so now let's go multiply this out. 4u times 4u. 4 times 4 is 16, and we're left with, well, u times u is u squared. Continuing on. 4 times 9. 4 times 9 is a 36. And we have u, v. 9v times 4u, well, 9 times 4 again is 36. And our variable is u times v. I'm flipping it around. U, v. 9v times 9v, well, 9 times 9 is an 81. V times v is v squared. So now let's simplify. There's nothing that's u squared, so we bring down 16u squared. The inside, 36uv and 36uv are the same term, right? They're like terms, but the same term. So we add them together, and 36 plus 36 is a 72. And we have u, v here. Bring down, well, there's no other v squared, so we have 81v squared. And there's our final answer, 16u squared plus 72uv plus 81v squared. We're given this problem here, 7u plus 6v times 7u minus 6v, and we need to find the product. So let's multiply this out. 7u times 7u, well, 7 times 7 is 49, and u times u is u squared. 7u times a minus 6v, well, positive and negative is a negative, and 7 times 6 is 42. So we have 42 here, and then u, v. Can't really combine the variables there, so we keep it as multiplication. Continuing on. 6v times the 7u is a positive, 6 times 7 is 42. And again, it's, well, v times u or u times v, uv. Lastly, 6v times a minus 6v, it's going to be a negative. 6 times 6 is 36. And v times v is v squared. Notice the inside here. We have a minus 42uv and a positive 42uv. They cancel each other out, leaving us with the leftovers that just come down. 49u squared minus 36v squared. And that is our final answer. We're given this problem, negative 6x minus 7y squared, in parentheses, all squared. And we want to find the product. Well, we know something about this parenthesis being squared is the same thing as about the inside multiplied by itself. So we write the inside minus 6x minus 7y squared and multiply it by itself. Negative 6x minus 7y squared. Alright, so let's go multiply this out. Negative 6x times a negative 6x is a positive, right? Negative times a negative is a positive. 6 times 6, 36. X times x, x squared. Not too bad. Almost there. Well, partway there. Minus 6x times a minus 7y squared. Well, negative times a negative, again, is a positive. 6 times 7 is a 42. And we have x times y squared. We can just write it as xy squared here. All right, keep going. Negative 7y squared times a negative 6x. Negative times a negative is a positive. 7 times 6 is 42. Y squared times an x, well, that's like an xy squared, right? Doesn't really matter the order there. Lastly, negative 7y times y squared times a negative 7y squared. Negative times a negative is a positive. 7 times 7 is 49. And y squared times y squared is y to the 4th power. So now we want to combine our like terms. 36x squared is by itself. Nothing else can combine with it. Bring it down. 36x squared. 42xy to the 2nd power and 42xy to the 2nd power are the same. We can add them together. 42 plus 42 is an 84. And we have xy squared here. Lastly, 49y to the 4th power is by itself. Bring it down. 49y to the 4th power. And there we have our final answer. 36x squared plus 84xy squared plus 49y to the 4th power. I hope this video was helpful and you learned something. If you did, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video. This helps us make more free math lessons for you and for everyone else. So as always, thanks for watching.
Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. Minute Math, Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. MinuteMathTutor.com.